Justice will be swift. Justice will be painful. Justice will be delicious! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Aaron Van Nuss, and welcome to Spoiled. Heslabard, go with the intro. What? We don't have an intro yet. Jump cut. If you haven't seen RWBY before, let me basically give you the rundown. Red, white, black, yellow. Pretty much it. There's amazing fight scenes brought to you by the amazingly talented Monty Ohm. I keep saying amazing because this show is unlike anything that's really been around before. It's completely brought in-house by a very small company that's becoming a very large company called Rooster Teeth, based out of Austin, Texas. I have a few of their merchandise, if you can't tell, mostly because they're pretty awesome. I hate to keep using that word, but it's the best way to describe them. I'll put a link in the description below to roosterteeth.com where you can watch all of their stuff, become a sponsor, get it even earlier, and enjoy RWBY that much more. By the way, if you haven't seen RWBY yet, this is my review of Season 1. I'm king of the castle, I'm king of the castle. Oh, so everything is also a gun. Awesome. Oh my gosh, this show is crazy! That Penny chick is creepy. Oh my gosh, Penny can kill anything. It's a really good thing she's nice to everyone. Man, Weiss is a jerk. Oh, Weiss, you're awesome! I eventually will be doing a full, in-depth review on RWBY Volume 1. However, I don't have the time for that right now. We're gonna jump straight into RWBY Volume 2, Episode 1, The Best Day Ever. My first thought was, hey, that's the first guy from the first episode of the first season. Is this going to be a trend? Also, what was it? Newly reopening. Calling it right now. Whatever the last season is, his store is going to get destroyed. So, as Emerald leaves the shop, she's stopped by Mercury, who basically spells out, that's not your wallet, and you realize this old man got robbed again, only this time he didn't know it. I personally got a laugh just out of that part. So they're walking and talking down the street, they have great chemistry, they're funny to listen to, but I realized everyone in the background actually had faces. I mean, this blew me away because in the first season they didn't. They didn't have any faces. It's like they didn't have the budget to do it. But Rooster Teeth this time, they're like, wow, we have this amazing, huge fan following, by the way. So they put in the budget, they put in the time, they put in the effort, and it shows. The show looks so good. Like, it looked good the first time, but it looks amazing now, especially for just how small of a team is actually working on. I think it's only like 40 people. So, Mercury and Emerald arrive at the bookstore. I did not think the scene was going to go down this way. I mean, we saw a tiny glimpse of the trailer of the dude jumping on the desk and he popped out the claws. I was not expecting them to kill him. You find out later in the episode, they straight up kill the guy. But the conversation that led up to it, I've tried to write some stuff in the past, but that conversation was beautiful in my opinion, because it worked so perfectly to where, like, he was hesitant right when they walked in, but they had another agenda. And I love that he kept closing all the books. And it was building this interesting tension throughout the scene. I gotta say though, when he talked about the comics, my immediate thought was, X-Ray and Vav comic! One thing I couldn't help but wonder was, the Third Crusade, that book she got to that he didn't have in his bookstore, is there a plot device behind that? Is that something that's going to come up later in the show? Or was that just her egging him on? I don't know. That's just a random side note. Let me know what you think about that. Another crazy thing that happened in the bookstore was, apparently you don't get to leave the White Fang. Because that's all this guy was trying to do. He probably saw the corruption, he saw what they were doing, and how much they were stealing. Like, wow, that is a lot of dust at the end of the episode. But, wasn't Blake in the White Fang? So, does that mean she can't leave? What about Sun? Sun is just an awesome character. Was he in the White Fang too? I don't think they elaborate on that, but if he was, does that mean the White Fang is going to hunt them down because they tried to leave, or technically they did leave? I mean, it's a really minor plot point, but just kind of wondering. After Mercury kicks the dude in the face, which I'm guessing blew his head off. I understand why they didn't show that one. We get an automatic jump cut back to the school. Really excited, get to see what's all happening again. By the way, if you pay attention, you can see trees in the background through the windows. Again, just giving some praise to Rooster Teeth because they're going the extra mile. They're adding so much more depth to what's going on. In Red vs. Blue Season 10, you had so much happening on screen in that first space battle, where Caroline is using the gravity hammer and all this crazy stuff is happening. There was so much on screen, but with RWBY being fully CGI, as for Red vs. Blue was able to pull from the older Halo footage, I understand why it was kind of choppy at first, because it was a new product, it was something new they were trying out. But the difference in graphic-wise between RWBY Season 1 and Volume 1 and Volume 2 is leaps and bounds if you just pay attention to the small details. I know I'm going over this again and again, but it was so jarring to me at first, but in a good way, which is so rare. I was just like, this season's going to be amazing, if nothing else than just visually. All of my fanboy moments for technology aside, we get an automatic jump cut straight to Adam. Technically not Adam, but Adam. His awesome sword. Such a cool character. Can't wait to find out where they're taking him, what they're going to do with him. Is Blake in love with him? I don't know. I think Sun likes her. Does Sun like her? Does Sun just like bananas? Bananas are good. I could totally eat a banana right now. Am I allergic to bananas? Sadly, we didn't get to see any of Adam in the first season. However, we got enough of him in the Black trailer. In the first season was so much setup, so much build up for the characters. I feel like this season they get to elaborate on it a little bit more. We get to introduce more at a steady pace, but that Adam character is pretty mysterious, and I've seen so many cosplay pictures of him. I personally can't wait to see where they're going to bring him in, how they're going to do it, and especially, like, is Blake going to be the one that ends up fighting him? Whew, that would be a crazy matchup. So, Team RWBY and Team Juniper? Yeah, Team Juniper are all sitting down having a great lunch, tossing food back and forth, all that good fun. And then RWBY comes up and slams down this massive book, which if you pause the screen and look close, you see Property of Weiss scribbled out. That part made me laugh just because Weiss is like the butt of almost every joke. But if you honestly think about it, she had more character development in the first season than any. So it's just like, okay, we got that out of the way. Bring on the hailstorm of jokes. And I'm loving every second of it. Don't stop because it's great. So, RWBY sets down the book. She's elaborating on the fact that this is the last day before their second semester. New students are arriving. Apparently there's this big tournament at the end of the year. Can I just go ahead and say that's going to be the coolest thing ever? I mean, in this episode, we got to see them fight without their weapons. I want to see them fight with their weapons. And especially because Monty Oum is pretty awesome in the fact that just because on the show, and in any of his stuff really, if you win a fight one time, you're not necessarily going to win the fight the next time against the same person. I'm really excited about it. So, back to the conversation before the tournament. She's just elaborating on the fact that they're going to have the best day ever, which is what she, in all caps, scribbles on Weiss's binder. And she's just talking and talking and talking. And then it comes, the Nixon joke of, I am not a crook. I had to pause it because I couldn't stop laughing. In X-Men Days of Futures Past, when it shows Nixon, I'm sitting in the theater next to my buddy, I'm like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's totally going to do the Nixon's back. Come on, do it, do it, do it. And then he did it, to which I responded, Nixon's back! I just want to go ahead and say, I think Sun is easily becoming one of my favorite characters. Between his joking, playful nature, how cool his fighting style is, and them abs. Who doesn't love a good pair of abs? I mean, seriously. But anyway, really excited to see where he goes this season. It's going to be pretty awesome. And also, there's this guy with blue hair. I don't know his name. He looks cool. There's even a pose of... Ding! Did it say his name at some point? I don't think it said his name at some point. I probably just missed them saying his name at some point. Did they say his name? Sun and blue-haired guy walk into the cafeteria after he hypes up how amazing his friends are and how he doesn't want to be embarrassed. And we are treated to Nora standing atop everything singing I'm Queen of the Castle Again, which became a meme in and of itself, which was glorious and I'm totally a fan of. Camera's panning back and you are seeing the table stacked up, and it is now no longer a cafeteria, it is a war room. And so the fight begins, just like the intro. RWBY stands upon a table. Justice will be quick. Justice will be painful. Justice will be delicious. And there's milk shooting everywhere. And Team RWBY pops up behind her. Yeah! And the fight. Oh my gosh, the fight starts. I had no idea something like this was coming. Okay, the way they used everything. Fighting with breadsticks, fighting with sausages, fighting with a pole broken off and stabbed into a watermelon. Yang! Turkeys! Wow, that fight scene was so beautifully choreographed and just intense the entire time. I think I watched the episode maybe 8 times just to make sure I got the full effect of how cool it actually was. And if that is only a taste of what is to come, whew, that's gonna be a good season. I gotta say, it took about 3 seconds for me to realize, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the coolest food fight ever. Of all time. If you watch Red vs. Blue, you're gonna get that joke. It was awesome getting to see the two teams fight. All the different fighting styles clashing, because I mean, Yang did so good against some people, but she was pretty weak against others, and I mean, it was like that for everyone. This part kind of got me. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed a good bit, I was a little confused. We had this awesome moment in the trailer for Volume 2, where RWBY is desperately holding an unconscious Weiss, and this pillar falls in the background, and it's really dramatic, and she's screaming her name, and I'm like, holy crap, Weiss is gonna die in this season. But no, she's knocked out because she got hit during a food fight. Granted, she kind of cracked the pillar when she hit it, but she got knocked out during a food fight. Kudos to you, Rooster Teeth, for pulling the wool over my eyes on that one. That was pretty slick. I appreciate it. People like grapes. Soda. I just want to point that out. I thought that was awesome. Can't wait to buy the soda. Everyone did a good job in the fight, but there's no denying the fact that Nora, hands down, was just cleaning house everywhere you look. She got knocked back, but she got up more than anyone else on her team. She had the crazy water hammer, Mellow water smacker. What would you call that thing? I gotta say, RWBY's sprint right at the end of the fight had to have been one of the coolest ways they could have possibly started this volume, season, however you want to title it. They call it Volume. The way she shot across the room like that, built up a tornado behind her, just like Neo from The Matrix. Say what you want about The Matrix, but they made this awesome. And then spiraled into that little drill. Oh, Monty's a Gurren Lagann fan. I forgot about that. Spirals into this drill, rose petals flying everywhere, hits them with like the force of a hurricane essentially, sends them all up against the wall, all the food is hitting, color splatters everywhere, RWBY lands gloriously, and just like, bow, music drops. Thank you, Jeff Williams and Casey Lee Williams, however you say it. You guys did an amazing job with the soundtrack. Whew! And apparently Sun and the blue-haired guy were just watching the food fight the entire time. I can't imagine what was going through their minds. The blue-haired guy was probably just like, what did I get myself into? As to her son was probably just like, dang! Nora cleaning house! Also, if dust is going to help me clean up like Glinda Goodwitch, yeah, I'm going to steal some of that stuff. Seriously, there were tables flipping everywhere. It was amazing. It's just like, this is the most effective way to do anything ever. We need to invent this. This has to be a real thing. I'll take the monsters. We'll take that trade-off. Yes, get us some dust. Monty, make it real, please. Make it real. So the principal comes in, calms everything down. Glinda's okay with it now. And they're all standing there laughing, and I'm just like, wait a second, where's Yang? Falls through the roof. During all the chaos of the fight, I forgot where Yang was. And when she fell through that roof, I was just like, whew. I'm digging the show right now. I'm really digging it. Scene cut. We get to see Roman again. I can't tell you how excited I was when it showed him. I was just like, yes. I don't know why I like this character so much. I thought there'd be a sword inside of his cane, but there wasn't. It's just a gun and a cane. That's awesome. Mercury and Emerald come walking up, and you can automatically tell they really don't like each other. I mean, I don't know if it's old hatred or just the fact that Roman is Roman, but I don't think if it wasn't for Cinder kind of keeping everything in check, they would probably all just kill each other. As a side note, Roman has stolen like all the dust. Apparently, dust prices are up so high because of all of it. They're causing a lot of chaos. Cops are looking for them everywhere. But this is what leads to the cool part. They're going into Phase 2. Now, from what I can guess, Phase 2 is Mercury and Emerald going into the school, basically being like Trojan horses. They're kind of like sleeper agents for, I don't know, maybe waiting till the tournament, until there's a big gathering of people, and they're going to do something. I think I just spoiled the plot for myself. That probably sounds like it's what's going to be. They're going to wait till the tournament when everyone's gathered in one place. It's going to be like that episode of Naruto, back when Naruto was relevant, and it wasn't just the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over. So, as they're all talking, apparently it comes up, and again, they killed the bookstore guy! That's harsh! I mean, sure, he wasn't the coolest character ever, but still, they just straight up killed him. They didn't, like, give him the mafia beatdown. You stay in line. No, they just killed the guy. Don't go against the White Fang. Also, if you know anything about Red vs. Blue, please tell me you as well died laughing hysterically at the Puma joke. The fact that there was a Puma joke. No? Just me? Okay. Still, the Puma joke is pretty great. All jokes aside, Cinder comes on screen and you know business is going down. For as hot as she is, I am terrified of that character. She is, wow, just like, I'm going to burn you alive because I feel like it. I'm going to say it in a very elegant voice. I'm going to stop talking like this now. But anyway, seriously, she's running the show. There is no doubt about it. So they've got all the dust. Phase 2 is starting. Wow. This is going to be a good season. Closing thoughts for the review of RWBY Volume 2, Episode 1, The Best Day Ever. My biggest thing I really enjoy about RWBY is the fact that the show isn't just about the fighting. It's not just about how funny it can be at times. It's not just about the character, which they're getting pretty diverse and huge with their amount of characters now. It's about the story. The story is so underlined at times, but it's really, really good. You can tell Monty and the crew, everybody over there, brilliant writers, they're building towards something. And whatever it is, it's going to be great. So, as the show goes on, I'll be putting out videos as close to their release date as I possibly can. I want to watch them multiple times, make sure I hit a lot of the good points, so I can spoil them properly for all of you. Again, the show is called Spoiled. You kind of should have known it was coming. Anyway, hope you enjoy.